Weep Ninny Bong, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. So today we've got in the booth, we've got the KBB tank. So this is the KO version of the Armada tank in the stunning black and purple colors, and I have to say that this tank mode is absolutely brilliant. We would usually at this point look at the packaging that it comes in, but unfortunately this doesn't come really with any packaging. It came in some styrofoam box. I did get the option to get some packaging, but I chose not to take that option. But you do get with it plenty of accessories that we'll come to later on, but you also get the destructions. The destructions, as you can see, are all in another language, so you can't follow them, but the pictures are all plain simple, very easy to follow here. How many steps it is to actually go through it, and as you can see here, it is KBB. So let's crack on straight away with what this guy looks like, and he is a fantastic looking tank. Definitely one of the best versions of Megatron's tank that I have ever seen. I love it. Its black and purple color scheme is what really sold me on this, and also I think that there's so much molded detail on this as well. So if I bring it up for a closer look now, you can see here that we have awesome molded detail all over it. This black and purple, it has some die cast, so this piece here is die cast. Also Megatron's chest piece is die cast as well. Really nice molded plastic. Everything is molded plastic on here. There's no real paint to it apart from the die cast that's painted, but all of this, you get great articulation in and around on the turret. And while we're on the turret actually, if we hold it this way, has articulation around the turret. It has articulation here, so it can go up and down. This is telescopic, so it can go in and out, so you can actually have it to whatever length you want. But what's pretty cool is if we hold it here and we push the button, yay, is that it fires a lovely little missile out of the front, which is pretty cool. Not many Transformer toys that I have owned in the past have actually fired something out of the cannon, so that's a pretty cool little piece to it. What I do love about this, and this is something that Hasbro definitely haven't done on the latest versions of Megatron's tank, is that you get actual rubber tracks on this guy. You can see Meg's just hiding in there. You get rubber tracks that stay on pretty well, and this guy rolls. My booth, as I know, is really slippy, but this guy definitely, you can see the back tracks moving there, and he moves on all, you can see all of them moving there, so he moves on all these tracks, and it looks great. This is on a very sturdy ratchet round there, so this tank mode for me is absolutely great. So much molded detail, yeah, and this is, this is just so good for the price that I paid. Again, I got this from AliExpress, but yeah, it's a really beautiful tank mode. This was the first thing I saw was the tank mode that really sold me on it. This also comes with accessories, so you get this accessory here, which is part of Meg's transformation as well. He is a little bit of a parts former, certainly for some of the pieces to make him look really good, but these can just plug in the top here, and you have a little gun here that you can also plug in the side so that he looks a little bit like this, so you can see all those. And then you also get another gun that you can plug in as well, which is this one here, so you can plug all those different guns in as well. What is really cool though is that he is siege compatible, so all of your siege weapons can actually be plugged into this one. So you can you can take the mini gun from Astro Train and you can plug that in there at the top, which looks pretty cool. Bring it a little closer. So that looks pretty cool. You can even plug in Prime's ion cannon if you really want to set it off. But what I really like doing, and I think looks awesome, is plugging in the missile launcher from Astro Train and then one of Jetfire's guns. I love playing around with Jetfire's guns, and stick that in on the top, and I think that looks epic. Bit of silver paint on the front of these, or purple paint, really would set that off, but I think that really makes this tank mode just go to that next level. So now, as always, let's bring some other tanks out for comparison. So let's start with the latest tank that we got, which is Siege. So Meg's Siege, he's longer than Meg's Siege. Obviously Meg's Siege has the holes in the front and in the back, so he's a lot more solid, and his tank mode is more of an Earth style tank mode. So yeah, you can see how they size up together. Also from the Siege line, we have Skytread's tank, so you can see that he is, oh, this always falls off on my Skytread, it doesn't quite hold in correctly on mine, unfortunately, otherwise it points down at the ground, which is useless. So you can see he towers over Skytread there, Skytread's tank. And then just one more for luck, so the G1 style Skytread, he towers over G1 Skytread as well. So really nice size in your collection there, quite a big tank if you're looking to get a big Deceptor tank in your collection. Okay, so now let's move on to the transformation of this guy. Now the transformation of this guy is actually a pretty good transformation. First thing you're going to want to do is just bring this round and down just to unhook everything here, so you've got some space to kind of work in and around this area. Slide in the gun barrel at the front and then unhook these legs here and here. Okay, bring them out on the ratchets like so, and then it'll do the splits like so. Then these, you're just going to want to fold them in on themselves there, and then you can start to separate this gun barrel here as well. Bring the arms kind of out, and you can bring the chest piece down, flip the head in and around, and then you can bring the back pieces here together. There's just a little clip in the middle here, two tabs where they just tab in nicely together here when you actually get them into the right area, and look at that, that's good. Okay, so then for the next piece, bring his cod piece up, lock that into place, bring the legs down, fold the little feet down, and there we have his, ooh, his V-joint didn't quite clip in there. There we have his legs all up and good. Bring this just up so you can see he is quite tall. You can bring the gun out then to the sides, and one second, then the hands around the side here, you want to just kind of pull out like so, clip it round, gun, just move it out of the way. Probably shouldn't have moved that in quite so early, and then you can bring it round and it rests just there. And then once you clip the feet in, you have your Megatron. So this is Megatron in his fully transformed state. He's pretty brutal looking. I really like the way that this guy looks. If we bring him in for a closer inspection, we have a look at the head here, you can see that the head piece here, the head sculpt, is a really nice kind of G1 looking head sculpt here. I really like the way that that looks. You've got light piping here at the top, so you can see now that his eyes are aglow. Really nice. This is die cast, so this is painted die cast here at the front. You've got some really nice purple plastics here, really nice molded detail kind of everywhere on this guy, which is really nice. The treads just hang off a little bit of a backpack, but to be fair, for how much it's got to conceal at the back, it's not too bad. Loads of more molded detail here on the front, and yeah, really cool. So if we have a look at the articulation, so first of all, we'll move to the gun. So the gun, you can have like I've got it there, or you can have it like this. I actually prefer it on looking a little bit shorter, so I actually prefer it a little bit more like that. I think it looks a little bit more G1. Head is on a swivel, and you can get a 360 rotation there. Arms, you can get a 360 rotation on his little armies, and you can get a full rotation at the elbow. Hands actually have a little articulation as well, and his finger will point like so, so you get double his articulation on the little finger joint there. Now this is where mine unfortunately has a little bit of an issue, because mine has no ratchets in his leg, so you can see unfortunately everything else is on a ratchet here, so you've got some really nice ratchet joint there, a little bit of a twist there for the articulation, great knees and also toe articulation here, but my articulation on his leg is gone. This one's fine, so I have been able to get some money back on this guy from the seller on AliExpress, which is great. So yeah, so a slight bit of an issue there on mine, but everything else is pretty good. You get a little bit of a swivel here in and around on his hips, but it's obviously restricted here by the fact that he has such quite a big backpack. So articulation and posability wise is great, but mine is hindered by the fact that I have the issue with my ratchets on his legs. So if I try and make him do a ninja kick, can he do a ninja kick? Probably not, because oh no, maybe this will be alright actually, but I don't think in this mode, I don't think he'll be able to do one, because his legs, there's too much going on up top, and his legs are quite thin. So that's the one challenge that you have here. His legs do seem a little bit thin. So now we move on to the accessories that come with this guy, and this is where he really starts to get interesting. So if you think he looks good like this, and I personally think he does look pretty good like this, you're gonna love him when he gets all of his accessories on him. So the first things are these two plugs that come with him. These just plug into the shoulder ports here and here, just to beef up these shoulders a little bit. So already you can see more detailing, and that looks brilliant. So we then move down onto the legs, where you have these pieces that just clip in. So you've got two tabs on the inside that tap into the holes here. As soon as you get them on, you just push them into the tabs. These are a little tricky to get on, just because you have to kind of feel around in the dark for them. There we go. There's the first one on, and then you bring the second one in, and again it's just the same. Those two pieces here just tap into those two pieces there. There we go, and we snap them on, so you can see his legs already looking beefier than they did. And then comes the beefiest piece. So we have 1 foot, angle this down slightly, 1 foot and 2 foot, so he gets to put his big space hoppers on, and we just plug the foot one, or front foot first, we plug that in, plug the second one in to here, and there's his nice little moon shoes on, and then we kind of attached. He has this piece here, which is what I brought out before for the cannon, and I attach this piece round the back here on the arm, and he gets that nice kind of even more G1 Megatron aesthetic with that on the back there, and he looks pretty damn tasty with all that gear on. But we're still not even finished, even though he looks a lot beefier. We can rotate the cannon around here like so, and then we can also attach this piece here, which obviously would have been the silencer on the G1 Megs. Attach this on here, and then he gets an even more beefier looking gun. And there we have, with all of his lovely accessories on here, he is an absolute beast. I love it. He looks really, really good. I'm really disappointed about the slight leg issues that mine has, so his posability is damaged a little bit, but we're still not stopped with this guy's accessories. He has those two little guns that we saw before. These aren't so great. These little guns here, they plug in. Unfortunately, when mine plug in, they do not plug in straight, so I will not be using them. Plus, really giving Megatron another gun for me isn't that ideal. Not something I'd really do, but you can see how it looks in his hand. That gun looks okay. Quite small, but what's he need a little gun like that for when he's got a big ass gun like that one? But it does fit in his hand quite nicely. But what we also do get, because obviously at the beginning I said that this was a Armada version of Megatron, we can actually look at this, and here we get a second head for this guy, which is the Armada Megatron head. And to put that on, all you do, come around the back, open up this little, you may not need to actually open up the backpack, you just slide the head off towards the front. There we go. So head just comes off, just slides off. It's just on a little clip, and then you can just slide the other one on like so. So you can see how he looks now with his Armada head on. Now, I'm not the biggest Armada fan, but I still think this looks pretty cool. Let's have a little look here at this head sculpt. This head sculpt is pretty cool. Just hide it from some of the rays from the lights. But you can see again, we get the light piping here on the old eyes. We've got there a very shiny face. And we've got nice light piping here. Really good detail. Again, this purple, black, everywhere, full twist, and it works just like so on the rocker joint. You also get with this figure, you also get some other accessories. You get two hands, but I'll be 100% honest, I've not worked out how to get these hands on without opening up his joints and applying them, but these are just fully closed fists that I guess can just hold the guns like so. So yeah, you can just hold the guns like that, but those hands seem to hold the guns pretty well as well. So many accessories with this guy. Let's have a look at how he scales in comparison. So first of all, let's bring out Megs from Siege. He towers over Megs. As we can see, he's much taller. About his little feety here, so you can see already he's much taller than Megs. If we bring out Skytread, where he scales with Skytread, let's have a look at G1. Skytread here, so you can see how they all scale together. He's very, very tall. So when we talk about the actual scale of this guy, he is actually masterpiece size. So if we bring out the only masterpiece I own at the moment, which is Prime, you can see he scales perfectly with Prime, even if he's a little bit shorter. Maybe if you stick this heat on, he's definitely bigger than Prime. So yeah, with all the accessories and everything, he's actually masterpiece size, so he will scale very well on your masterpiece shelf. So then it comes down to my final recommendation, and would I recommend that you get this guy? Yeah, I picked this guy up on Alibaba, and I picked him up for probably around $35, which is around 25-26 pound. Obviously I have an issue with his leg joints, with the ratchets gone. I got some discount on that, so that's pretty good. So AliExpress sorted that for me. So yeah, so the fact that I'm going to leave him in robot mode, probably in this pose or similar pose to this, doesn't really bother me about the fact that I have some damage to him. I would definitely recommend you picking up this guy if you're looking for something that's a bit of an oddity, or you're looking for something that's almost a masterpiece Armada. I would definitely recommend this one, especially for the price point. Beautiful. Yeah, definitely my actual favorite version of Megatron that I own now, especially in this version. I think he looks absolutely spot on. Obviously not cartoon accurate, but hey, I love this version. I'm open to change. Really, really nice. If you like what I'm doing around here, what are your thoughts on this guy? Let me know down in the comments. Do you own this guy? Has yours got a similar challenge to mine with the leg joint? Have you already picked this guy up? Do you own the original Hasbro one? How much does this differ to the original Hasbro one? Do you think the transformation on this one is actually going to be what the transformation for the Earthrise Megatron is going to look like? I think having picked this guy up now, I have less of a need for the Earthrise Megatron than I had before. Apart from scale wise, I think this is going to be a vastly superior tank. I love this guy. If you like what I'm doing around here, please like, share and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Alright, see you in a bit. Peace!